Hello, everyone. Oh boy. Shoot. Just getting things set up. Still 10 minutes, and I still can't get everything ready. Um. So what? So yeah, I've got an idea for a room. Uh. So I've got a lot of things to talk about. Firstly, the fact of the build a room competitions. So many things. So I'm building. This is what I'm going to be building. I'm going to try and build a room for that submission. I've got an idea, and the title's not misleading in any way, shape, or form. I'll show you why. So we're going to go into and create a new room. So I've got an idea for a room. Why the flip is it sand? Okay. Treasure floor, canvas floor, graveyard floor, holiday floor. Okay. Um, medieval, isolated space. Toy floor. Like, what is the floor that it's like used for bedrooms? Hello. Nothing much. I
Your
am
bedrooms
building.
again.
Yeah. Um, I've got. Yeah, so I've got an idea for a room. I think this is going to be really funny. The
Okay.
room. Can't store
You
room
cut off for a
folders.
second there.
Yes. No. 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 So what my idea of the room is it's called. It's going to be called um kill the spider. Now the whole premise of it is that there's a spider in the room. You start off
Okay.
in the bedroom and you wake up and find a spider on your bed. Now you're playing arachnophobe, and of course you naturally um freak out. So you grab a newspaper and try and hit it. Um but then it goes to another part of the room and you've got to go and find it. You've got to like dig out like books and stuff to like find it and like hit it with the newspaper. Eventually it goes into
Yeah.
another room and then you chase it and you find another like it goes in the kitchen and you get a frying pan and you're trying to hit it with a frying pan and you literally chase the thing through the whole house pretty much. Trying to find it, trying to kill it with the ways you're killing it gradually getting more insane. Eventually, you're gonna get a rifle and try.
Right. Okay.
I just like the idea of just because people are just scared nuts. Oh my gosh! Actually, there's dynamite in the game. I might have that as the last one as well.
Or just blow it up.
try try to blow him up. And I got the idea for a funny ending as well. This is going to be the versus room. Is who can kill the spider the quickest. But I'm also going to have
Right.
a
Okay.
story. At the end of you end up grabbing a signpost and a hammer, and you go outside and you put for sale sign outside your house, and that's the end of the.
We just get rid of the house. Okay. Okay.
So that's my idea of a room. Good, bad.
Different. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know how well it would work, but it's interesting.
My gosh, this is gonna be a real pain in the neck to build. Okay. Um. So it's the toy room. Don't want that. I want. I realized there's some. No one's submitted. Like last build. Like no one's submitted any good rooms yet. Like last competition,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
just like in the first 10 days there was like 6 submissions, like and really good ones as well. Um, and some person I saw a comment saying that it takes people normally submit in like the first near the 6 end hour mark. No, that's not what happened last time. There was like it was like a very slow drizzle. That's how I remember it. But no one
Yeah.
submitted any rooms that are like actual like solid gold. Like we've had at the moment, we've had a map, treasure hunt one. I think that's fine. Somebody submitted is a Dead by Daylight room. Um, that one's disqualified because you can't use an existing property.
Oh, right. Okay.
Um, yeah, it's in the rules. Like it's been brought up multiple times.
I mean, that's fair enough, right? If it's stated beforehand.
It wasn't stated in the live stream though. That's what bugs me. It's just like, and it wasn't stated in like the rules or anything. It's just like people have just asked server admins if it's okay, and they're like, if it's a parody of something, it's fine. But if it's
Oh, so it's like copyright law stuff.
yeah,
Right. Okay.
um, I completely understand. Um, but other than that, we've had Oh, also the flipping page isn't working.
What isn't?
The submission page.
Well, that's typical, isn't it?
Somebody's released in a room called the Looping Corridor. Um, but the fact is, I know this is not a solid room because they couldn't like the thumbnail, right? This is like
Yeah.
basic.
Yeah.
You can tell if a room's good or not based on a thumbnail. The thumbnail, they didn't really put any effort into it. It's just a generic, like default room. So you just know that it's not like a very good one. Like
Yeah. It's not a maximum
if
effort
you
room.
want to win, you've got to actually put some flipping effort into this. Um,
Hmm.
but the fact that no one's like gun submitted, and I feel like it's the feet. I actually saying that somebody did release the room called Spiral of Time. That one looks quite fun. I might be playing that one.
Oh, did that look good? Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, I want to do when this contest, when the deadline of submissions is over. I would
Yeah. Yeah.
like to find a group of people because the theme is verses. Um, and to literally just go through all of these rooms, just have like a massive me streaming this room, like all of these submissions,
Oh,
just go
like
through,
a massive versus competition.
like just go keep on going through every single room just to experience it. And I last time I made my own top 10 rooms that I personally thought was my own. I'm gonna do that again. Obviously, I won't put mine in because that's just not fair.
Yeah, it's bias in it.
Um, what the flip is a bed? bed. That's bad. Bed. Um. Bed. Bed. That's how you spell bed.
What is in the thing that
I
you
know there's a
sleep in?
double bed. Where the flip is it?
Oh, did you ever find models for that dinosaur thing?
I gave up on that.
Yeah, it's what you can use as well, right?
Yeah, I have found
Yeah.
a complete new set of models. Um, do you want me to read out the list of models? Because I'm not gonna make it for this competition, this room. I think this will be like a later stage, but I found a bunch of models that gave me an idea of a really good room. I'm surprised that no one else has done. Um, so the so we have um so we've got modern dungeon props, old key, um archaeologist desk, crystal lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any ideas what this room could be?
Uh, keep going.
Okay.
My brain's half dead at the moment, by the way. I spent about 10 hours in it
Skullfu,
making a geometry dash level, so.
a model called Skullfu,
Right.
occult books.
Is it like a dark magic type thing? Like a cult thing, maybe?
Well, I'll give you the last ones. Cthulhu idol, Cthulhu coin, Cthulhu,
Oh,
Cthulhu.
D&D. Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
D&D.
I don't know why. Every time I just think D&D immediately.
You think right? D&D stands for Dungeons and Dragons. Where the flip
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
C in Cthulhu? Like Cthulhu. Do you not know Cthulhu?
Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm brain dead.
H.P. Lovecraft.
To be fair with me, I've never really consumed anything from that franchise, so.
Ah, um, it is. Is an interesting. It was a guy.
Right.
But no, he was actually. I think he's very genius of coming up with that idea because it was horror instead of like because a lot of the horror books during that time were like Dracula, Frankenstein. They were books
Yeah,
that
yeah.
gave a freakish actor with like describing words of giving you the imagination of using um using fears that have already exist, like the dark, um, or like spiders and stuff like that, like
Hmm.
death as well. Just describing gore. He took the idea of using people's imagination, against them pretty much. Really, the whole concept of H.P. Lovecraft books is the like Cthulhu, the uh the Yellow Coat King, another one. All that is that it's what's called I don't even know how to even describe it. But what he did was that he uses space for a lot of it, and it's not space horror. Is the fact that
Hmm.
he made like creatures, um, using like madness of people. Like what he did was he made when he was in the books when the people were encountering these creatures it never at the end of the book you never really knew what it was and there was always that sense of mystery and you didn't it was like It's the unknown. That's what he used. It was the first time people had used the fear of unknown. It's like the equivalent of like. Have you watched Bird Box?
Yes, I watched Birdwatch, yeah.
Yeah. You know there's a monster.
But you never see it,
You
yeah.
never see it. You have an idea what it does, but you don't know what its motivation is and stuff. And the funny enough, I got a theory about it, and based on what the theory said, I wouldn't be surprised if the monster was actually uh was like a creation of the Cthulhu and his siblings,
Right, okay.
because pretty much they're creatures of madness. As in, if immortal eyes look at them, they go insane.
hmm I think there's actually a reference when it in the film, thinking about it. In the film Bird Box, because there's the cold fella that
Right?
goes
Yeah.
on about it.
So
Yeah.
he funny enough, the theory talked about it. But in the theory, he said a bunch of creatures that just don't work of the monster.
Well, yeah, to be fair, it's probably a direct like trying to reference someone with not actually knowing the content material.
One of the monsters was a demon of lust.
Yeah, that made no sense.
Um, Another one was this like fox uh creature that has the ability to make voices. Sounds good so far. Oh wait, no, it can go through walls and doors like a ghost.
Right, okay.
So it couldn't be that because door this creature can unlock
Yeah,
doors.
it couldn't open the door, yeah. It couldn't get in.
No,
Couldn't get through like the boarded windows.
yeah. Is it in house? Where the flip is the double bed? I know there's a double bed in this flipping pack. Oh, here, for flip's sake. Found it. Right. So, what do you want to do, by the way? Because you came on here and I assume you didn't want to just chat or something.
Yeah, I'm good for just chatting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're.
Like I said,
That's.
I'm on Remnant at the moment anyway, so
I
I'm here
don't.
for a
I
good
don't
chat.
remember. That game sounds familiar, but I don't know.
It's a new release. It's like a
Oh wait, is it?
soul-like but
Is it?
mixed
Is
with a
it? Yeah.
shooter.
Well, yes. Realm 2. Yeah, I saw.
It's actually really good. I'm enjoying it quite a
I
lot.
saw. I saw a clip of that. The only clip I saw was of people playing it was that they were going into this boss room, and the first
Yeah, yeah.
thing they said was like, "Okay, this boss is pretty instantly." Dude went round a corner and immediately got flattened by a brick.
Yeah. That's the thing is like every time you do a campaign, you never know what's coming up because the maps and everything randomize. So like my campaign might be completely different to yours. Like you might fight different bosses and stuff.
Like it was like a giant stone slab, just literally, just like he literally. He's like, okay, this boss is pretty instantly. Walked through the door, went around the corner, jumped over a gap, and then this brick just from the other over the corner just poof. Like
That is pretty funny though, to be fair. Like,
it was just it was just like he jinxed it.
I've been like hit off walls and everything in this, or I've accidentally stumbled into a boss fight, not expecting it, being on like one heal item. I'm just like, oh shit. Now it's quite a good game. Looks quite fun.
I'm gonna go with modern for themes of this room. How did he get the shotgun? There's a spider in the house. Uh, Salvage Road, reading and cry, kind of like friendly, has profanity. I wouldn't say that. Gonna make it. I'll keep it at the moment. Um, I don't even know what I would write for the walkthrough. Um, okay. Difficult, easy, obviously. Right. Back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Book shelf. So how the flip do I put books on the bookshelf? Hmm. Need a mic stance. Um. Oh, there's one I was about to ask. How's your like I've talked a lot. I was gonna ask if you wanted to talk about anything. Uh,
Nothing. Well, honestly, I've just been bored and brain dead all day, so
Fair enough.
I know it's a bit sad. But I don't have that much conversation right now.
That's fine. I will say
Nah,
there's
I
something
was
that
just going in to chill out.
I forgot to talk about at the beginning of the stream. Um, at the at the begin I would have streamed yesterday. However,
Mm-hmm.
flipping egg. I flipping hate this. So it's still is boiling my blood. Um, I experienced a power cut. So, like, okay, like natural life, power cuts easy. Everyone experiences them. However,
Yeah, yeah,
this one was slightly different. So what happened was I was just doing my own thing, and all of a sudden, all of my screens of the PC just turn off. Now, I thought my PC was overheating the because my PC, like, it was my screens, only my screens turned off and not my PC. My PC was still running. Like, it was like the fans were still going and everything. Um so I like tried to turn the screens back on, but there wasn't even like a light showing up in the bottom corner. I'm thinking to myself, did the screens like disconnect from my PC? What the heck is happening? Eventually my PC
yeah.
goes off. And I think to myself, and I'm like hitting the on button, it's not turning on. So I panic, naturally. Um so I wait, no, actually no. And I go, so I call to my dad because I live with my parents. And I go, my I think my PC has overheated, and my mum, not my dad, because my dad's outside apparently. My mum says, no, we're in a power cut. So apparently,
Yeah.
what happened was that this power cut was funny. It wasn't like all that devices turned off at once. Like every device like had like a 2 second gap between each one turning off. So it was like it so a device would turn off 2 seconds, another turn off, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
Normally it's just doof. This time it was doof 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 doof. Like it was a weird power cut, and it wasn't just our house; it was the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think to my like, okay, and we get a notification on our phone saying that there's we've been notified there's a technical fault, a technical issue, more specifically. We'll get to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and the power will be back on at 10 or 11 p.m. more specifically.
Yeah, that's typical, isn't it? It's gonna,
Uh,
you know, you're gonna get more and more often though because of
so
all the
so
electric
anyway,
cars.
so naturally, because I've got nothing to do, I take a nap.
Yeah, yeah.
Eventually the power does come back on, so I go to my PC. Hello.
Hello.
I'm explaining what happened on my Monday afternoon
Oh.
at the moment, and I'm also building a room.
Oh.
First one, oh.
Huh.
Yeah, we're just having a conversation. You're free to join? Question mark.
Yeah, no worries. I
Um,
just finished doing essentially a brain hurting escape room.
what was it called?
Have you ever heard of Rusty Lake?
Rusty Lake. Rusty Lake. No.
Um, it's this company. So it's this like company from the. Oh God, I don't. I think it's. I want to say like Netherlands or something. They do a bunch of like point and click escape rooms,
Okay.
but they've just done, or they've recently come out with a co-op game called The Past Within.
See, this is quite a big bedroom. Why the flip is it this big? Sorry, I'm busy
Yeah.
working. As you were saying.
Yeah, so it's like 2 hours worth of gameplay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's. You
The
know
thing
what?
is,
For modern day standards, that's quite small.
yeah, but like it's basically like you have one person in the future, one person in the past, and you're supposed to communicate with each other to like save your dying father or
That is
something.
a interesting concept. I've seen
Yeah, it
people
was
do
such
stuff
a
similar to that where literally just time puzzles are such a common thing a lot of the times. Like there's so many puzzles that take place where like you you teleport from present day to the past.
mm,
Or one I thought was quite clever was like where you had a gun, get
mm,
that you could shoot orbs that acted like almost like portal, like similar to like how portal works, where when you hit a surface area, um
mm,
that area, like a like a splash radius of a certain range, everything in that area would turn back into the past.
mm,
So if there's a door, like if there's like a broken down bit, you just shoot it and it will just disappear because it would be because back in the past it would be fine.
mm.
And that was a very interesting concept. So the whole premise of so you're sorry, I keep on interrupting. I'm such a talker. I
You're good. You're good. You're good. It's basically
I
so
need to
you're the
shut up.
daughter.
That's what I need to do.
You're the daughter basically. Um, and you're working with the future to basically save his memory or something. It's really complicated anyways. But yeah, so you have one person in the future, one person in the past, and basically you have to work together to like solve puzzles. So it'd be like, oh, person in the past has a code that the person in the future needs to access like a panel or something
That
for
makes
this
sense.
giant device. And it gets real trippy at the end.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. I
Like trippy how? Like are we talking about like at the end like there's like a bunch of like you're in a dark room and all of a sudden the room is just filled with like floating eyeballs or something like that?
No.
Or is
Have
it
you
like
ever seen?
is it like a Goosebumps
Mm,
thing where you where the ending just makes zero sense?
I
As
would
in
say
like it's like
more
this
of
kind
like
of this like twist of like haha, you didn't get rid of the monster at all. In fact, it's still all alive or something. That's the classic
no.
Goosebumps sort of
It's more
formula.
like you find out you're playing as the same person but in a different time, and then you meld yourselves together
Oh.
in this like weird, like basically because the thing is it's all offline. You don't have to like connect to each other. You just both people have the game and they just communicate through like Discord or something. And then the
So is it
ending,
like
you
no
just like
keep talking, nobody explodes.
kind of it's basically entirely offline. You just both need to have the game and be able to communicate somehow.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's oh my god, it's crazy.
Don't know how to design a bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was talking about how I was experiencing a flipping power cut on Monday afternoon
Oh,
before you
mm,
joined. And it was
right.
like something I wanted to grind my like bones about because what happened was the power cut. So the power cut, I'll just quicken it up again. The power cut, so what happened was there was a power cut. It wasn't like a normal power cut. The power cut, how this power cut worked, instead of all the devices turning off at once,
Mm,
each device turned off, like there was like a 2 second delay between every device turning off.
mm.
So it wasn't
I wonder
like
if it's because there's capacitors in different monitors and stuff, so it's like delayed a little bit longer.
maybe I don't know.
Took a little
Anyway,
bit longer to discharge.
so
Yeah.
yeah, eventually they say it's an issue. They have it repaired. Uh, so I go and have a nap. I wake up. The power's back up. I'm like, okay, cool. I go to my PC and try and turn it on. It doesn't turn on. And I think to myself, what? And I keep on hitting the on button and it's not turning on. So I'm thinking to myself, is the power back? So I go to my father again and he's good with computers. I'm good with computers, get me wrong, but I'm more like I'm good with like using computer software like Photoshop and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is the one who's I don't know how to like build a computer. That's not my or how PC
That is
works.
completely my jam.
That's your complete your jam. Okay.
Yeah, I like messing about with hardware.
Um but I don't know how to use I don't know really. I'm familiar with the parts of a PC. I just don't know how to like if there's a PC broken, I don't know how to fix it. That's my anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad has looks at it, and he flipping finds out that power cut, even though we have a flipping circuit breaker in this flipping household, the power cut fried my power supply.
I can imagine.
Like I just don't, and that
Don't never trust an electrician. That's all I'm gonna say.
wait what?
Never trust the electricians. Like the amount of dodgy shit that they do, like not attaching the earth on like light switches and stuff like that, is unreal.
I feel like you have a vendetta against somebody in the past based on that response. Did something happen?
Well, let's just say like the last couple of months, because I've been re-going over stuff, I've taken the switches off to repaint,
And you
and all the light switches don't have an earth on them.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, which is like a massive safety
But I'm
thing.
just
So
thinking to myself, like, the fact that I've had to go and buy myself a new power supply. With my own money, by the way, just to get that out of the way. I didn't like my parents didn't buy me a new one. I'm not that person. I pay for my own stuff. So I brought myself
How
my
much did it cost you for a power supply? Just out of interest.
£73. Not
Yeah, I mean that's about what I was expecting. That's
yeah,
not too bad.
no, it's not. Like
I mean, it's better your power
I didn't
supply
want
going than like your actual hardware.
that that's alarm my because based on when I was telling my dad that my PC wasn't turning on, he
Hmm.
thought his first thought that he went to was that the power cut could have caused the motherboard to be fried, and that
Yeah, the capacity's getting fried. Yeah.
and the fact that I have to go out and pay, like if that happened and I have to go out and I pay something, and I'm suffering for somebody else's mishap.
Yep.
How is that fair? And I'm thinking to myself,
It's not.
is it like can I sue somebody for like damage against property? Because I'm thinking to myself like there's got to be a law against this. Because
The thing is, like, imagine if somebody on like a ventilation machine, to help them breathe.
oh,
With the
one
time that it's happened,
that's
because
what.
they're supposed to notify you in advance,
Yeah,
because
but do you know
they'll know
what?
before it goes down.
That's more extreme than the example I was about to give. I was about to give the example of like a car manufacturer. Like they have the machines to build pieces. And I was thinking to myself, if there's like a malfunction that ends up, if based on the electric company, if the electric company has a mishap that ends up sending electric charges to the machines, destroying them pretty much, it costs
Yeah.
the company like £1,000 to get that repaired. Uh, to it also delays parts getting delivered and stuff like that. People's jobs are on the line. Like there's like a whole money thing. And that's my first thought was like money. I like you like up the ante. I was like, nah, mate. Somebody could have died based on somebody's electrical fault. And I'm thinking, but it's like there's got to be a law against like taking accountability if a
Well, you say that, but then again, United Utilities are getting away with literally dumping hundreds of thousands of gallons of raw sewage into like the oceans and stuff, and in rivers.
and
They've That's against the law, but they get away with it.
oh my gosh, you're right. For flip's sake.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a actual thing as well.
I know. My dad is a marine biologist.
Oh yeah, he'll know all about. It's not just the marine stuff though. It's like when they're dumping it in
He
the lake
he
district.
he's fascinated with any like um sea creatures and stuff like that in lakes, ponds, the sea,
Hmm.
etc. And he also the company he works at, their whole job is protecting sea creatures and stop people from dumping stuff into the ocean and
Yeah, yeah.
finding them guilty. He's actually won a few court cases as well. He's not a lawyer. He's more like testified per se. Um,
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, I did geophys at with uni, and the amount of BS that happens, like your groundwater is contaminated, like your tap water's contaminated, and it's so avoidable. It's just irresponsibility.
yeah.
It gets really, really bad. Like it's depressing to be honest. It's like, do you know about the statistics to do with the COVID vaccines? Like the actual released official figures?
No, I don't.
Well, you don't because I never tell you on BBC because it goes against what the government's currently recommending. But it's now up to a 1 in 30 chance of severe myocarditis injury from the vaccines, and they're still trying to get people to have them
Jeez.
in a situation where the disease is no longer anywhere near as harmful.
They're still out there though.
It's bad.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's killing people, and they continue. Like all the figures are there. It's
To be
cool
honest,
to
though,
see.
COVID can still kill. Like, it's still out there, and
No,
people
no,
can.
no. COVID can still kill. It's not benign, but then again, influenza is a much higher fatality rate.
Yeah. I
But the
remember.
fact that the vaccines that don't give you any real benefit anymore, because it's all risk versus reward, right? So yeah, they may have been justified when it was first kicking off, because it's not a natural disease for a start, which we'll go on about that after.
Okay.
But it's just shocking the way it's all been handled. You have protocol in medicine to prevent stuff like this from happening. You have to test it over long periods of time, like at least 5 years. That was ignored. There's a lot of stuff in scientific papers, and the actual scientists getting their opinions shut down because it was so-called misinformation. All that bullshit that happened.
The COVID time was an interest. Like when the vaccines happened.
Mm,
I ended up passing a lot of my GCSEs that I probably would have not passed because I couldn't take them in the first place, so they just judged it based on my work. Um, so I'm kind of so there was some benefits for me.
fair enough.
But I just remember during the flipping COVID time, when the vaccines were
It's just that they're still enforced, and
when
it's no longer
the
really
vaccines
needed.
just released, we were like, I think we were, I don't remember, we were like coming back to get something. I don't know what, like, there were still restrictions, but we were still like going out. I think we were just for the sake of it, we were going shopping because I can't exactly remember what we were doing. But we were
Yeah.
like going to just going home, and all of a sudden, in flipping like I think it was like 6 police cars, all with sirens, just go zooming right past us. Was strange because we live in like a small town. None of this
Yeah.
happens. Like we would maybe get one, maybe once a year, one police car with flashing lights zooming along, but not a whole squadron of them. Um, Later on when we get home, my mum ends up telling my father that, did you hear on the news? Apparently, the Prime Minister in our local town has just been escorted to the vaccine in our area. That all these police cars were escorting the Prime Minister to our clinic to have the vaccine.
That is ridiculous, isn't it?
Like, it's just breaking the speed limit as well and everything. It's just, we were like laughing about the whole thing as well. But I also remember the first time I went and got the vaccine.
Yeah.
And it was, to say it was terrifying would be an understatement. I remember I walked in the room and immediately thought, this looks like something from a flipping sci-fi like thriller. It was like people were. It was rows of desks, right, like kind of almost like a classroom. Where people, not desks, sorry, chairs. Like lined up in like evenly spaced out. In like a creepy. Or too even, like too even. With people like sitting down, with people, with nurses going along with trays of needles and stuff, injecting people. And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, this is straight out of a flipping sci-fi movie. This is terrifying. This is." No wonder people think that like these things are like tracking devices. Like the whole.
You see, I refuse to have them, and it's got nothing to do with like the conspiracy theories and that. It's just they hadn't been tested for long enough, based on medical regulation.
Oh, my parents made
Then so I decided to have a look into the scientific
dragged
papers.
me to this place.
It's not actually a vaccine. Like, it's not classifiable as a vaccine. It's mRNA therapy it's classed as, because it doesn't actually insert a dead or similar virus into your body. It's the way it works is it has RNA strands and it directly destroys your cell membranes with a lipase and injects it straight into the nucleus of your cells, which is highly untested on the long term. And you can't get long term tests under a year. Like, that is just not a thing.
I'm trying to think of, like, the best bedroom floor at the moment. What the heck is that? Cryptic cabin.
I'm just posting
Now
it
that-
because I know that if I don't post it right now and just leave it and just bug fix, I'm going to just like hyper fixate on just trying to fix everything and not post it. So I think I'm just gonna post it and get it out of the way.
Yeah. So many people
It's also
haven't
very-
submitted. I'm just like I'm
It's-
so
yeah.
so surprised that last time there was so many submissions. This time, not so much.
It's a little yeah.
What's the rewards for the competitions? I'm
This
just curious.
right. So last time, the wards were unknown. Let's get out of the way. People didn't know what the wards were, but people still entered anyway. But this time, the wards, the first prize is
Cash prize.
$2,000. I don't know. Like, it says dollars. I'm English. I use pounds. I don't know if they like switch. If they say
I believe it's based on your
based on our
whatever the equivalent is.
If it's based on current conversion, I think that's like 1,850.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, sterling.
Anyway, yeah. So there's that. Then that's for first place. I think second and third, I think they get $200 if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I'm gonna look at it. What would it be? It would be announcements. Okay, yeah. So, first place winner wins themselves $200 in cash, plus
Yeah.
plus a board game.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
The
yeah.
first, second and third place win a $100 Steam gift card plus a board game, and from 4th to 10th, just get a $100 Steam gift card.
I mean, to be fair, they're not that bad
What
prizes.
the fit
you
is
know,
this
for the-
board game actually? What's so good about this board game?
What's the board game called?
It's called
I don't
it's called no, literally plus an escape room board game by Post Curvis? Is that how you pronounce that?
I think I've done the train one of theirs and they are pretty
Curious.
decent.
Post Curious.
Yeah, I've done. They did like a train board escape room. They're not actually that bad. They're pretty decent.
Escape room,
Like the
the
one I made and
game.
stuff.
Yeah, that's a.
Mm.
So yeah, they've made
Oh, post curious.
yeah. What games? What have they made?
Well,
Like
it's
I
not that
play,
bad.
I own a few board games, and I know I don't. I wish I played board games, but I don't really have anyone to play with. Um,
Hmm. You know, I
Yeah.
think my favorite board game is Betrayal on the House at the Hill.
I
That's like a really good game.
you like it?
Yeah.
I've heard some. I haven't got it because I've heard some negative things about it.
Mm.
It's not the most straightforward game, but there's like 75 different endings.
I
Like, so
get that.
depending what happens in the game completely changes how it plays.
Yeah, but
But it's not the simplest game to pick
what
up.
I heard, and when I saw people play it, I thought, yeah, that is a valid point. Was the main point that I that kind of convinced me? I thought it was a great game until somebody pointed this out, and then we're like, oh yeah, that is the case. I see it now. The game's not that
Yeah,
great. What I noticed was that it always was very uneven. Like people would either it was always the killer would get absolutely destroyed, or the other way around.
yeah. No, I've had games where there is no killer as well. So it's like it's completely changeable.
No betrayer.
The thing, they're not uneven because it's like it's intended to play with at least 4 to 5 people, right? And I think the invader, if you play it properly, has a very decent chance of winning. And I mean, obviously, it depends a little bit on the randomness of the board,
The random like
but it tends to be
board.
pretty
The
even.
board can really fit people. Like there's some players who get really strong, and then you've got the other players who have the worst luck, who get absolutely destroyed by the board. They are like they have just like all of their attributes except for one is just completely dedrained.
The thing is, like, when you get better at the game, though, when you play it a bit more, and it's not like your first time, it gets better because you understand how stuff works a little bit better. But consider everything considered, it is fairly even. It's not like unfair on one side.
I I think if I had to place a favorite board game, I think it would be the one that I've played the most. And that would be Sushi Go. Don't know if any of you guys
That's a
know.
good one.
Oh, you know that one?
Yeah.
Like
That was,
I
that was
even
very
like
fun.
the moment Sushi Go Party was released, my family no, well I brought it and our family played it a couple times. But now they're just too busy now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's where board game simulator is kind of nice, though. So if you wanted to play a board game, you can play it with people. How am I supposed to? Oh, for fuck's sake!
Alright.
Sorry, this puzzle in this map, it's like loads of hard enemies and stuff. Then the puzzle itself is quite confusing. Uh, It's like a mini maze.
I get that. I'm realizing that I'm playing one of my old maps right now, and I'm realizing how fucking broken it is. And I decided to publish it anyways. I, sure, man. Fuck. Oh lord.
First world problems be like
I
how
know.
did people make flipping bedrooms? I'm just lost at the moment.
I've always thought, because I'm a geometry dash creator, and it's like you spend hours and hours and hours making something, you think it's perfect, and then somebody will just come around and like find a pixel
Buddy, your
perfect bug,
mic,
and it
it's
completely
like
breaks your level.
your mic was like the most robotic. um, wait, Did my internet go? Hello?
Oh.
Oh, okay. So I'm fine.
Hmm.
Okay.
Damn.
Like all, like just my,
Alright.
like I was like thinking to myself, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
No, everyone like somebody's voice was going very robotic, and I thought to myself, like your voice is going, and then all of a sudden it went completely silent. I'm thinking to myself, did my internet go? Is that...
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
Still silent or?
No, it's
All right.
what is
That's
this?
what I say.
What is this? I wow. Actually, I'm looking at my like I'm playing the thing right now, and like I'm realizing I put so many leaps of logic in this damn thing.
what flipping floor did they use
It's
here?
why you need playtesters, to be honest.
Yeah. I was just like, you
It's the
know what?
same
I'll
on any
make it.
game.
It's good enough.
Yeah. It's like it's bad enough in Geometry Dash, you know, because you might think something's balanced and someone else will come along and be like, oh, you're just particularly good at this particular thing. It's not balanced
Yeah.
at all. So easy to do.
I'm literally looking up, like looking how other people made rooms.
Okay. So if I remember correctly, I think that's what I thought. I also decided to do Easter eggs. I think that's what screwed my game over.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
I've not even had a look at the editor in Skate Simulator yet.
It's fine.
Did I ever reprogram these?
The room I told I just realised your flipping username. I just like
Jesus.
hyper copy.
Yeah, there's no. Okay. Cool. That one's broke.
Well, yeah, and the room I'm making is that I'm going to call it. This is based on all the flipping you know how people are like absolutely scared of spiders, like terrified of them?
Arachnophobia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like some people are just so like I know a few of them. I met a few on Discord. One of the people who I play with the most, who goes by the name Spontaneous, absolutely hates spiders as well. So when I found out that I came up with the idea because of all of these people, and seeing how people react to spiders, I came up with the idea of the room called "Kill the Spider," where the whole premise is there's a spider in the house, and you've got to find it and kill it. And like every time you like try and kill it, it keeps on getting away. Like and like the weapons get more and more crazy. At the end, you end up having a flipping rifle and pieces of dynamite, and just like
Oh,
come here.
Poor spider.
fun.
I'm just saying poor spider, to be honest.
Do you have a fear of spiders, Blackjack?
I don't.
No. I just don't mind them.
I love spiders.
That's so scuffed. That's so scuffed.
I'd rather have spiders and have to deal with like flies and stuff.
I really should
Oh my gosh,
just go.
I hate flies so much.
You know what I really hate? You know, midges. Oh, I
No,
hate midges.
with midges.
Wait, you live in the UK? You don't know what a midge is? Bruh.
Not a clue.
You know the really small flies that bite the ever living crap. Well, actually, you live down south, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what the heck you're talking about.
It's very, very common up north. It's like a really small biting fly, and like they're small to get under like most fly nets and stuff.
Lovely.
And they swarm you to like you hang about for any time. Just they'll be all over you. Awful, awful things.
All right. Learning that my internet was quickly reset for a second.
Okay.
I thought you just abandoned us. I was like, ah, we're not
No.
listening to this fly talk.
It's just my crappy internet. Makes sense.
He's talking about
Doing
insects and swarming people. I'm out.
Well, that's just midges, though, isn't it?
Hey,
Wait.
it's alright.
The mummy gave me nightmares when I was a child. I don't want to deal with that.
I tell you what, it gives you good motivation. Like, you know, when you go mountain hiking, there's midges about. You don't hang about. like you're out of there.
I think so. We have something called mosquitoes. They're not the same thing, right?
Bro, I live in the same country. Don't I?
So okay, so they're not the same thing.
Whereabouts do you live?
I live down, like, both in the live in the UK, but I live
Well, I live in
Southeast.
between Liverpool and Manchester, so I live in the northwest.
right. Yeah, so we live in completely the opposite directions of one another.
Yeah.
And
So I guess you're just lucky enough to not have to deal with them.
yeah, I deal with mosquitoes and stuff instead.
We don't really have mozzies, but I think I prefer mozzies.
Oh no,
to
wait, no.
midges when they crawl into your ears and
No, let me
stuff.
tell you what we do have to deal with. Flipping seagulls, okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fully aware of the seagulls. We have to deal with them as well.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to interrupt, but I do have to actually leave now. Someone's calling me for GTA.
Oh,
So yeah.
Fair enough.
rob a bank.
Fair enough.
See you later.
Yeah. See ya.
I just
Yeah, I had to deal with a flipping crow in the house once. That was fun. Jeez. See, right. Okay, may I ask something? Because I want to know if this
Yeah.
is just in like my area, or is this just something that happens all over England? Do you know a lot of people that have a fear of birds?
no.
Right, yeah, so it's just me. Okay, cool.
I don't know anyone that's scared of birds.
I
Maybe
had
birds of prey,
I had a
don't know.
couple teachers that were like terrified of birds. My brother is terrified of birds. Has a fear of birds. I don't get it. Like
I
like
don't
what's so
understand why
scary
you're
about a
scared of
flipping
it.
crow? Okay,
I quite like the crows. They're quite smart.
you haven't had one in your house, mate.
I wouldn't mind it, honestly.
You wouldn't. You definitely wouldn't.
No.
I say,
Honestly, with the amount of BS that we go through anyway, like not much would bother me.
what the flip have you had flown in your house? Like a crow, right? We found this out the hard way. Because what happened is that we went out and left the back door open because
Yeah,
we
I
have
see where
dogs.
this is going.
We have dogs in our house. and we have to leave them open for them. And while we were out, our cat, because we have 2 cats as well, we have 2 dogs and 2 cats, chased a crow into our kitchen. Now, we got home to a lovely surprise of a crow. Now, we tried to grab it, but the crow kept on slipping through our hands, and here's where it gets really, really disgusting, because it turns out we don't know what, I don't know what this stuff is, but the reason it kept on slipping out of our hands was that its feathers are covered in this oily black liquid.
Yeah, that's the thing for all birds. It's what keeps the feathers waterproof.
It's just like completely black, like as in like literal. It felt like actual oil was like on my
Yeah,
hands.
So a lot of birds they have like they're not all the same, but they have a gland like sort of on the back of the neck, and they use it to preen the feathers so they're waterproof.
I did not know that. Um, uh, while we were trying to get this thing out of the house, and the dogs. We ended up as we tried to like shoo it out of the door, it ended up jumping onto the ground. That's when our dogs went after it.
Right.
What made it literally scare itself? What scared it so badly that it took a let's say it used the loo on our kitchen floor. And it's apparently
Yeah.
fun fact, crows' droppings are black.
I can imagine. Oh, so you thought it was covered in?
So no, we assumed it wasn't manure. Okay, we knew our hands weren't covered in manure, but we were like, what the fit? When we never knew that these birds droppings were black. I just couldn't believe that. Like, so...
You gotta be careful with crows though, because the whole grudges and stuff. So
It was in our flipping
know.
house, mate.
yeah, but you scared it.
Our dog scared it. So yeah, I just remember the whole situation. It was just unnaturally because we walked in our house. We were there like what the flip is the cat doing? Because it was by our window. And it was like just like it in a place that is normally is. And then my sister just froze because we turned around. It went further into the kitchen, and in the other corner nearer to the door, went was the crow by the window because the cat was prowling towards it. That's what it was doing.
Right. Yeah.
So we assumed the cat chased it in based on that. But we ended up having my 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 mum ended up swatting it. Well, got the black stuff on her hand. And the dogs, and what made it jump on the floor, what made the dogs literally run after it, commence this absolute nightmare of me wrestling the flipping dogs and trying to get them out of the kitchen, while my mum is with a broom trying to get the crow out of the house. So, just our dogs have caused so
yeah.
that's caused so many problems in the past. I feel so sorry for everyone who comes into this room and they're like, why is he looking at a room that's already pre-built? I'm looking at inspiration, that's what I'm doing. But
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like our dogs have caused so many issues in the past. Like for one, we Like, just our no, actually, scratch that. Our animals in general, like our two cats and our two dogs, have caused so many issues because our my mum went outside one day and noticed that the cat had killed a mouse, and it was like on the porch. Um,
Hmm.
and she thought, oh, I better clean that up. So she went and got a doggy bag, came outside, and the mouse was gone. Um, and she thought, didn't think much of it. Thought she might be imagining things or something like that, or maybe the cat moved it or something like that. Anyway, she went back in, closed the door, locked it, turned around. Like, imagine this like as in like a comedy stack, right? This my mum just walks in, none the wiser, closes the door, locks it, turns around, and sees my dog, who's called Neo, sitting there,
Yeah, yeah.
sitting right in front of her with the mouth, with the mouse in his mouth. Commence a hillbilly style chase around the kitchen of my mum chasing my dog Neo around the house, yelling, "Neo, drop it! Drop it, Neo! Neo, drop!" Just,
Oh, that's cat, so you in it.
it wasn't the cat, it was the dog.
Did it bring it back alive?
No, it was dead. The cat
Oh.
killed it. The cat killed it, and my dog thought, "Oh, chew toy, yum."
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I love our dogs, but at the exact same time,
It's a bit of a pain, right?
I want to murder them. It's
Well, you do, but you don't.
Anyway, I might actually give up on this room.
Oh man, I'm trying to get to a secret room in this place, and I just can't seem to find the way to do it.
Secret room, like as in like.
Yeah, it's like you have this one power cell which you can use to like open one door, but you can't take it out and use it in another. Type things like if you take it out the door closes, but you can't get through before it closes.
How close should the nightstand be to the deck? It's okay. There we go. They actually made the beds. I noticed this. Um. Um. All the bedrooms were 1 by 2 square. I'm actually gonna
Hmm.
do that. For sake. I'm hitting Alt instead of Control. Um. There's no room for the nightstand. Oh, god damn it. Oh, now the nightstand is clipping through the flipping pillar. Yay. More issues. If I can get one room done, I'll be happy.
If I can just figure out how to get into this room without feeling brain dead for like 2 seconds, I'd be very happy.
Just do not like the walls and stuff they've got. The options are just feel so limited. Um. Oh, there was one thing I didn't actually mention about the electrical thing. Um. Just remembered it. Um. I I actually went on here the next flipping day today more specifically and say literally I typed in this Discord saying a power cut in my neighborhood somehow went through a circuit breaker and fried my PC power supply. So how was everyone else's Monday? Like I just thought let's just make fun of the situation.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean that's all you can do though, really, isn't it? Just
um what led to a bunch of people what I was gonna say what led to a bunch of people. No, more specifically what happened, because everyone has this vitality, is that one person um did the did a fearful Discord reaction, followed by
yeah.
everyone else doing the exact just doing the same emote, doing the same reaction, just clicking on the button. Um, However, there was one reply that flipping actually angered me. Um, Based on just it just feels so arrogant based on this. I don't know if he was trying to be funny or something. I don't flipping know. Um, but to say that I was mad about this would is well, yeah, I was mad. There's no
Hmm.
flat out mad.
Yeah, it got under your skin.
And he literally went. The reply was, "Well, it's Tuesday." No
Oh
shoot,
lord.
Sherlock. Oh, yeah, like I don't have access to a flipping calendar. Like that's like how ignorant do you have to be to do something like that?
I mean, maybe it's just like one of those brainless comments where they just, I don't know.
And I know people immediately know who I'm talking about because most of my viewer base is based on this server. So, so if you're watching this, hi. Um, Gosh, how the heck am I even gonna rig this?
How am I still lost in this place? What is this level design?
Might actually.
I'm genuinely lost in this level. I have no idea where the hell I'm going.
This was going. I had a plan for like a series of
So
building.
that goes up there. I'm gonna have nightmares of elevators tomorrow.
You
Why
haven't
is the
played my
door
room push.
blocked?
You haven't played my room, haven't you?
Probably not.
Push,
Normally
push,
I do like one room a week anyway.
push my
Can do it if you
buttons.
want.
The whole premise of it is that it's a room built to push your buttons. Uh,
Say that I tend to be quite patient, but just not on this one particular thing.
I'm getting quite bored of this.
I just don't see a possible way to do it without having like a second core, but you don't, you've only got one. It's make me feel like I'm missing something.
You know what's funny? I think my viewer base went down based on the title I gave to this stream.
Hmm. Yeah.
A room for arachnophobes. Nope.
Well, they know what they don't want, I guess.
Wait a minute. I'm not looking at.
So that's the mini checkpoint. Bypass that door to
The
get
flip
up
is
there.
this, Pine Studios?
Does that only open that door and nothing else?
Like, why is there like? What's that? What's that supposed to be? What is that? What the flip is that?
What's what?
It's like, unlike the person model for like, is it on the teleport as well? But for like the spawn thing, on the theater, yeah, it is as well. There's like a bit coming off, like at the bottom of the character.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's a bit janky.
I'm thinking to myself, what is that supposed to be? Um,
See, it's one of those things, you know, like you have a thing go across your goes, we'll never know.
oh my gosh, you have to place the door
How
separately.
is this dumb, kinda? It can't just be me being dumb. Other places this way. Wow, this is definitely not a confidence booster. Jesus.
This is definitely not a confidence booster. Are you okay?
I'm horribly lost in this fucking map design, bro.
Everybody hurts.
There's got to be a second call. Like that's the only thing I can think of.
Like, this is the thing. Like gaps like this allow people to literally glitch through the thing. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, maybe there's something I can do about it, but like I'm pretty sure they can still slip through that. Oh, it looks weird. Does that even work? Oh, I've got to hit play to see.
I refuse to leave this place until I've figured this out.
Like, look at that. That's not okay, Pine Studios. Is it because you need a pillar between each one of these? Is that the whole premise of this?
You know what you should do? You should set a time limit to make an escape room and then have someone else do it. And then see who can make the best escape room within that time limit, like a sort of mini race.
I would lose. I
Slow
am
builder.
like just generally flat out. Like I'm not gonna deny it. I would lose like immediately.
I don't know. I think I'll lose because I literally don't even know how to use the editor.
I mean, it's quite easy.
Yeah, it's just that I've never done it, so like, I won't know where stuff's located, and that'd take me a while. You know, just because I'm not familiar with the way it
Yeah,
works.
so I struggled with this thing because I thought it was going to be similar to stuff like Maya, if you know what that is, or Unreal. You gotta know what that is.
Oh yeah, I know what Unreal is.
Okay. Just to give some context, Maya is a software where you can 3D model digital items, like, or just digital models. Literally, just you make 3D digital models. Why did I make that
Right,
more
yeah.
complicated than it
It's like I
needed to
said,
be?
the only 3D modeling program that I'm somewhat familiar with is Blender.
Then yeah, and then you have and Unreal is the game programmer where you like what you do is you build the assets in Maya or Blender for that matter, and then you bring them
Yeah,
over
yeah.
to Unreal, and that's where you be like you build like the walls individually in Maya, and then you bring them into Unreal, and you like use those walls to build the house. Also, you can build the house in in Maya as well. It doesn't really matter. Um,
Yeah, I've never fully used Unreal,
you
to be
don't
fair.
you don't build a flipping village in
No, no, no,
Maya.
no. You put your models in.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you build segments, right?
So I've got to flipping place a door on this. Why?
So there's not a core down there. So there is generally only one core unless you're supposed to come back at some point. But I don't want to. I just want to.
Game. Why does the door doesn't flipping fit?
What is this level, bro? Yeah, if you want to, you can look up Geometry Dash. Do you know what I normally make? And it's a completely different type of game.
Geometry.
It's very much, like one of the hardcore type games.
Hardcore. Well, like, what do you like? Are we talking about
It is
like?
probably the hardest game there is.
Are we talking about the game literally called the hardest game?
No, Geometry Dash is the hardest game.
I don't know what it is.
As in, close to impossible to play. You know, to complete some levels are
What the flip?
literally pixel perfect and everything.
Are you? You can't be serious. Why is this not item you can pick up? Okay, that guy.
I tell you what, I'll make an escape room tonight then.
You're making escape room.
Yeah, I'll pull an all night because I've got nothing better to do.
The fact that I do not like the fact that you.
And I'll just see if I can make something. I think I'll just have to use the in-game assets though. For now.
So, hold on a sec. What happens if I do that? If I open the door, take the key out, and then you can't put it back in. You know, that's funny.
That's unfortunate. So I've been watching too much Dude Perfect.
Keep slot. What does that mean?
How do I get there, bro? I can't be that dumb, right? No, I can't.
Right, so that allows me to keep on putting the key back into the room.
You know what this feels like right now? Remember the shipwreck escape room that was doing the versus mode on, like last week maybe, or the week before? You know the one that we didn't finish.
Oh right, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's
Oh
like
my
that all
gosh!
over again.
Oh my gosh! I'm not proud of that stream. I cringe about it. I lost a follower because of that stream.
Really?
It was so bad. Like just that. Like I don't really care that much about followers and whatnot, but at the same time, it hurt because it was the fact that I just accidentally I kept on forgetting that if I left a room, it kicked everyone out, and one person got really flipping mad with me, and I hate when people get mad at me. So yeah. Right. That's literally what you need to flip into. Why? How the flip have not many people made it so that, like, that's so easy to do. I hate when you can pick up a key, like, out of a lock, but you can't put it back in the lock. I literally found
Yeah, that is
I
annoying.
literally found in literally messing around with it for 2 minutes, found that you can make it so that you can um take the key. If you take the key out, it closes the door, and you can put it back in to reopen it again. You can do this multiple times, but you can also make it just literally just changing a setting on the flipping thing on the white box. Literally, that's it. You just click on the door and just change the setting of this. You literally have to just change something to manage. That is literally it, and it keeps the key in the lock, and you can't take it out, so you don't have like this. If you're playing like a co-op room, somebody comes across a key you've accidentally taken out, and they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And you're like, "Oh no, I just accidentally took that out of the lock," and they've got to be like, "Oh, okay." And they throw it in a trash can, and somebody comes along and they're like, "Hey, there's a key in the trash can," and you've got to explain it again because uh,
Yeah, that sounds pretty annoying.
like what? Can I not have the door just open? Um, I'm testing something here.
Oh, all my summons are dead. Okay.
Um, so hard. So if there's no, okay, you can't.
The what the fuck? Sorry,
That's
I'm
fine.
just
It's fine.
incredibly confused right now.
I can hear it.
This game makes no sense. Why is that suddenly open? What? So, the fuck?
It's so weird.
I, bro.
Sorry.
So sorry, my brain's just like melting. I have no
I'm
idea
like
what's
I'm
going
I'm too
on.
focused doing this. Um.
No, that can't be right. No, so now those two doors are magically open. Okay, that makes complete sense. It doesn't make any sense. But then that's blocked off, so I can't go through there because that'd be too easy, clearly. Which means I've got
Okay. Oh, I thought your PSU got frayed. My butt. That that happened yesterday. I couldn't talk about it because my PC was fried. That's why I was like saying in like, so how was everyone else's Monday? Because it happened yesterday. I got the um power supply back in today. I talked about this already though. Um gosh, I just noticed that message. That was 3 minutes ago. so focused on this. So yeah, that happened. So I need a shelf. I'm trying to think of like other furniture you can have in a bedroom. I'm like looking around my own room, being like, okay, what's here? Got the bed. I've got a wardrobe. Maybe some drawers, like to store pants and stuff. That'd be in house. Drawers. Okay. This would be next to the. Wait, is that what everyone thought? They thought that my PC got fried today. I just realized. Is that why the person was like, well, it's Tuesday today?
Maybe.
Well, that makes a lot more sense.
Ah, that's one of the secret items. That's a relic. Okay.
Don't know if he's still watching or not, or if he just left. Got tired of my shenanigans.
Maybe. Hmm. Right. Still not finished because there's one more hidden secret item to get. Which
Go
means I
through
gotta
the
get lost again.
go through the room stuff, and you realize how lackluster the item list is.
What, in the base game or?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean that there's still a lot that you can do with like little items though, to be fair.
So this is not actually going to turn out as a good room as I thought. Damn. I might.
I might have just locked myself out of the other. No. Ah, it does let you go mount for it.
Placing stuff at the moment. Yeah, so sorry Mo for the misunderstanding. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot harder.
You know what? The one thing with Twitch that I'd like to see changed is how slow the viewer count updates.
Yeah, like I only noticed the viewer count go to 3 minutes after Mo types in the chat, so I assume it
Yeah,
people
but plus
like
I'm in.
lot of people don't say that you shouldn't have a viewer count because like if you're constantly looking at your viewer count and you see people leave, you're like, oh no, did I do something wrong? And I can confirm that does happen, but I still have my viewer count up because I do like to know if people are watching or not. Because
Yeah, because you can, if you're talking to people, not,
yeah, I I do I do go on like full rants to 0 viewers. Like, oh well, what it says is 0 viewers because I just got nothing else to do.
Mhm. Yeah, I've managed to find it eventually. Some amulet.
Okay.
Fucking hell, that was like a bloody labyrinth. Jeez. Now watch the thing that I got be absolutely useless or anything.
Oh my god. Oh my.
Okay, that's actually pretty decent.
Wish there was like a tool to be like select shelf, put books on shelf. Like, you know, you have to manually put every book on the flipping shelf.
I think I've got everything. Nice.
Yeah. I think I'm done. I can't.
Yeah, I've managed to fully solve the puzzle. Nice.
I'm gonna call quits on that ring. I can't do it. This is gonna be like
I mean,
this is
I'm
gonna be a
probably gonna do it a lot
playthrough I'm gonna
faster,
put on my channel, and people are gonna be like, "Wait, where's the next episode?" Because I just can't.
There'll never be a next episode.
I quit flipping. I I said I was gonna quit Bioshock because I said the game was flipping boring.
hmm
It was like just the it had auto aim. Let's get that out of the way, and you couldn't. I didn't couldn't find a way to turn it off. Um. So your
Is that
character
on M&K or just controller?
controller.
Well, that's a lot of games for you.
I play with controller on with Bioshock. Um. He the stories doesn't get me gripped. It doesn't feel that like there's supposed to be a scene with a submarine blowing up with a bunch of with a with a person you've talked to a certain degree. Apparently his wife and their child was in that submarine, and then of course the
Yeah.
main bad guy blows it up, and I felt nothing. I did not feel any like empathy or
Yeah,
anything.
because they made no connection to the characters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's typical.
But I am gonna actually. So I said I was gonna do it, but I am actually gonna still play that game because when I uploaded the first episode to um to YouTube, immediately I got a comment saying that it gets better, like as in it gets better, like it 2 gets better, and Bioshock Infinite, what is the third game, is really good. So it's like I suppose they just learn from their mistakes, but I feel like I have to
hmm
complete the first one first before I can actually do the other two.
Otherwise, you won't know what's going on, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have
To be
to put
fair, you know,
myself
people say it
through a
gets better.
boring game just to get more enjoyment out of 2 other games.
90% of the time, when somebody says it gets better, it's just copium.
Do you actually think so?
I've got a feeling with Bioshock, it's probably just copium.
By oh shock.
Saying that though, Remnant 2 is a hell of a lot better than Remnant 1. So you never know, it might not be. Granted, Remnant 1 was actually a pretty good game too, though. I don't know if you'd want to play something like this, though. You know, it being hard. Have you played a Souls game before?
Oh yes.
Which ones?
Uh, Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
What did you think of Elden Ring?
Okay. Okay.
You
So
know, a lot of it was related to Celtic mythology, which is like Welsh mythology and
I
stuff
did
like
not
that.
know that. I know the person who wrote it was who wrote Game of Thrones, and I'll get to that, like the story behind it. Um,
He's a weird
but
fella, George Lucas. Oh
I
shit, no, I forgot what's his
I
name.
I haven't been afraid to talk about it because people loved that game. They like treasures it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
However,
it,
my
J.R.R. Martin.
experience, and
Jeez.
by the way, I want to point out, like my experience, I didn't like play like 5 minutes of this game. Okay, I
Hmm.
played in total 111 hours of this game. So so I can say like on doubt, heavy heart of a doubt, I did not enjoy my experience of this game.
Fair
And
enough.
the reason, and there's a few complaints I can make about it. And you know what? Flip it. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. Why not? Um, so the first thing was that so let's get the gameplay out of the way. So I've played
Yeah.
Dark Souls before. Um, now I was actually very good at the combat. I enjoyed a lot of it. The fact that there was like different enemy types, each one having a different sort of like move set in a way, and you had to find and you did feel like a warrior trying to study people's move sets, trying to figure them out um of like the best ways, because um some were like had like quick like big heavy attacks, but they were slow, so you knew they were best to just dodge and wait for a good
Yeah, yeah.
opening. Like there was like you had to figure out when was a good opening or not, and I like that element. um but i I didn't like, okay, there's like several things I want to like and go in. Okay, so first thing first, let's get one of the issues I had on the list was boss battles. Now, I watched a lot of people's reaction to this. And a lot of the people's reactions to some of the bosses were like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck is the, what the heck?" Like that sort of thing. However,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, I've played Dark Souls. I'm used to this stuff. I know what the fit. This is like nothing new to me. It's spoilers, by the way. But like
I played the game. Don't worry.
okay, for example, when the guy chopped off his like um like like I when his half of his health bar went, and then there was a cutscene, and they're like, "Oh, stage two."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew what was happening, and like
You're on about Horror Loot, yeah.
yeah, when he cut off his arm, and they're like what is it? Oh wait,
Oh right, yeah, Godric, yeah.
yeah, Godric, and they're like, oh yeah, so he's chopped off his arm. He's gonna and then the moment he like sticks it in the dragon, I'm like, okay, right, he's gonna use the power of like a, the dragon head's gonna come alive, and he's gonna use that as his part of his moveset. Blah blah blah. Like I just knew what was coming. However, everyone when that cutscene started playing, they're like, what the heck is happening? And when he cut off his arm and stick it in and then when the dragon head started moving, they're like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I'm thinking to myself, really? Really?
Yeah.
Like, I just was so used to
I
it.
mean, it's just typical YouTube reactions, though, isn't it?
Um,
It's just
but
the way people are normally on YouTube.
I also, so I had so many issues with the bosses, more specifically. So, I'm a visual learner, okay, and I think this may be
Right.
the reason why. And what I'm very good at is picking up on patterns. I am very I know, like, I can see. I'm very good with like seeing details that people would miss, and I'm very good with like rhythm and stuff, and that includes with patterns. So I was able to pick up bosses' move sets really flipping quickly, And so I always knew, like okay, if he does this, it means he's doing this move, and like I could figure that out. And I knew when I just knew I constantly I was a quick learner of figuring out people's move sets. Um, and I'm some bosses I actually did like on my first try. Um, Godric, for example, did on my first try. Um,
Yeah,
um, then there was I can't remember his name, but he had a cane. Um, he you fought him the first time. The first time you fight him is on a bridge, but I died.
Oh, fucking was it Morgoth or whatever?
I can't remember his name. I
The
can't
guy
tell
with
you.
the old man cane.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't win on my first time fighting him. I won on my second time fighting him. I absolutely destroyed him.
Yeah, yeah, and the second time. Is that the in the open world bit?
Yeah, like it's just
Mhm.
so it just felt too easy for me at some points because I just was like some bosses like I just could pick up the patterns so easily. The Moon Mage I could figure out what to do really quickly. Um, I've got the achievements here.
Saying that, like, in, I think I actually had the most trouble with Morgoth the first time I came across him because of how delayed his attacks were.
One boss fight I actually really liked because not because of how hard it was or the gameplay or what the boss fight did, just the visuals of the boss fight. It was
Mhm.
it was uh it was the Ancha spirit, literally the
Yeah,
flipping
yeah,
deer. Um, and just when I went into the boss fight, the music, like it was just an open lake, and like thinking to myself, nothing really. It was like an open field and whatnot. But it was so relaxing for me because the boss
yeah,
fight,
yeah.
like the boss just looked absolutely stunning, and then he was floating in the air. And then when he did like the splash attacks, I quickly figured out you have to just run away from him when I was doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
I had high stamina. I was playing a fighter build. Um, so I had high health, high stamina. Um, used a big sword. Well, actually, no, wait, I didn't use a big sword. I'll get to that. And a shield. I used a sword and a shield. Um, and that was like my whole build pretty much. Because I was so used to playing with that in Dark Souls that I just thought I would use that same here, and it worked out fine. But I loved that boss fight because it just felt like when he was doing the moves, there was like teardrop sounds and everything, and it sounded really, it felt calming and just I love like ancient spirit stuff and everything, and I just that made that boss fight made me feel a certain way. Um,
Yeah, yeah. That like your preferred style.
yeah. But then you had boss fights like um Azazel, um, neutral born of the void.
Right, yeah.
I
Yeah.
flipping hated this boss. No, he had a move that one shot
Just the
me.
crystal bosses in general were just like yikes.
Um, he drove me nuts. Um, that was that. But I remember, like, my brother was like really hyping up this boss. Shard B- B- Shard Bearer, Redden. I am terrible.
Let me think.
He's a guy on a flipping horse.
Oh, the yeah, yeah.
Right. Like he said, this was the hardest boss fight he's ever like.
What the Dragon Sentinel? Is that what you said?
Not the Dragon
Ah.
Sentinel. Well, it was the guy that you fought on like an island with like a bunch of and he was riding on a horse. Well, I say riding. He was floating on top of a horse.
Oh, Radahn.
Yeah, that Radan. That's how you pronounce it. Sure.
To
Sure.
be fair, he is an early game boss though.
What?
Radahn is like supposed to be the third boss that you kill, so he's an early game boss. To be fair,
No, he isn't.
he is. Like if you play the game as it's intended, which you can skip, he's supposed to be the third boss that you fight.
You fight the Moon Queen. You fight the Red Wolf. You fight.
You're supposed to go down into Caelid earlier and fight Radahn. Otherwise, you have to backtrack to him. And it's really weird the way the game works.
Yeah. So he said that this boss was people were struggling the most and whatnot.
Mhm.
He said that he did this boss like 20 times and he still hasn't completed it. So he was there like, yeah, you're gonna really just be aware when you come into him.
Right.
Did him on my 10th try. like, and like I figured out how to defeat him. It was so easy the moment I figured out the trick. You literally get on a flipping horse and you literally just go around summoning the people. Because once they die, their summoning stones come back up on the battlefield. You just have to find them. And you just keep on doing
Yeah.
that over and over again until he dies. Eventually, the allies will stop. The summoning stones will eventually stop. And I quickly realised that fighting on a horse was the most easiest thing. Because you could literally just rush in there, do one attack, and dash out before he could, before his sword hit the flipping ground. It was like just, I would have to show you how to do it. So, but it was the fact that it was almost like a disappointment in the fact that my brother was saying how hard this boss was, and just
But
for
to
me
be
to.
fair though, like if you're using the summons, you're kind of taking the easy mode out. Like if you're fighting one on one.
If the game puts in that, I'm gonna flipping use it.
Yeah, but you don't have to use it. Like if you're gonna have fun.
But it felt. But with that being said, then there was the bosses. Then there was the mini bosses. More specifically, the bosses that you did at like. There was dungeons all over the map, and you at the end of it there would be a boss fight. Now, this sucked because all the bosses I fought, most of the actually scratch that. Most of the bosses, not even at the end of these dungeons, just all around the world, that bosses with health bars at the bottom of the screen and everything, turn out later in the game are just generic enemies. That's the majority of the boss fights in this game. And that was such a disappointment for me. That they literally... I get it, they're reusing assets and whatnot, but the fact that people... But... I just... Like, when that health bar comes up on the screen, I'm expecting, like, some unique enemy or something. It sucked
yeah,
when
like,
I
side dungeons and
backtracked a lot and ended up doing dungeons that I missed along the way, just for the boss fight to be an enemy I've already fought multiple times already.
I mean, I think that's just a factor of it being more of an open world game, though, compared to the prior Souls titles.
Yeah. If it was a
Like, they
game...
might have done it in a different order.
Yeah, if it was a game that... Like, I experienced the same thing with Souls, where a lot of the bosses early game were Nigeric. Would be Nigeric enemies early on. But that's the fact that you would have to go through everything or what? No. You had to go through that boss first. Because it was an open world, you could just skip most of the content.
Yeah, yeah. It also meant it was very, very good for speedrunners.
Oh! Speaking of which, with the open world thing, there was a phrase I said a lot. It was a 2 sentence phrase, and it happened like every time I killed a boss. More specifically, a main game boss. Like at the end of killing a boss, I literally would say this: "Now what?" That's literally what I said like so many times, because you'd be saying that a lot, because the minimap doesn't tell you where you need to flipping go to complete the game. Like, I was so...
It does actually. It does show you the general direction of the main path.
No, it does. No,
Yeah,
it
it
does
does.
not. No,
You look
it
at the
flipping
different
does
bonfires
not.
that you go to. You look at the different graces. There's like a little effect coming off it, which shows you where the next grace is.
Right. I remember killing the Moon Queen, okay? The Moon Sorceress.
Yeah.
After that fight, because the area she's in is this quite big open land, like she's in like right in the middle of it. So I just kept on going along, like up, like further along, and eventually I ran into a flipping... And when you go along that path that we mentioned, the main path, you run into this area that requires a tablet to lift up. And I didn't have the tablet. It doesn't tell me where to get the flipping tablet. It doesn't tell me if there's another way around it. That apparently there is another way. There's like this little shafting around the end. It doesn't tell me that what I need to do is go into the Redlands. That was still blocked off, by the way. There was like a big wall, and I thought, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to go in that area. So I went the other direction, fought the Moon Queen, came back, and that place was still not... I ended up using that flipping the Elden Ring wiki so much because I couldn't figure out where things were. I couldn't figure out what I needed to do next. I was lost constantly.
Well,
and that was...
No, I do get what you're saying. It doesn't hold your hand, and you are supposed
What
to...
the fuck? Okay, what did I say was so funny?
It's just because the type of game that it is. It's not supposed to like tell you where to go or hold your hand. Like you're supposed to, figure it out. Like that was the entire point, is that you've come to this foreign land and you don't know what the hell's going on.
I just
I know it's rough if you're not used to
and
that
like
type of thing, but there's a lot
trying
of
to
games
complete other the people's storylines as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like they said things through dialogue, right? And the dialogue they only say one time. But because I'm a visual learner, when it comes to like verbal information, it just goes into one ear and out the other for me. So it's hard for me to pick stuff up.
Right, yeah. I got you.
So I constantly had to Google where to next to complete these people's like side quests, let's say. But it turns out, and that's my another complaint, the story. I flipping hated it. The story made me... Because I think it was because it was made by the person who made Game of Thrones. Right. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand Game of Thrones was a masterpiece for a lot of people. For me, I haven't seen Game of Thrones, nor I want to, because I've heard that the last season... I just end that sentence there, because just literally because of the last season. Now, I get the format of this. The format of Game of Thrones worked because it was, you were watching it. You were watching characters be part of this world that is depressing. But in a video game, you are the character in part of the world. What? And in this case, which was depressing. I didn't understand the majority of the storylines, like the majority of the story, but the bits I did get across were like every time I completed a person's side quest, it just it it was worse than I should have not interfered at all. Like so many people died because I did the storyline. For the whole quest with the the Blue Moon cult or whatever the flap it's called, with like the 6-hand child, that whole there's like 3 guild members. There's this wolf, the wolf man, the giant, and then there's this like mage person. After completing in that quest for the child ascended somewhere, don't know where. The wolf man, went flipping insane, and you had to kill him. Because you killed the wolf man, and you the giant committed suicide, and the sorcerer just flipping died for no apparent reason. It doesn't give a flipping explanation of what killed him. And that was all because you did the storyline. Like, all these people that I got to know just flipping died. One I killed, one committed suicide, and the other died to, like, assassins or something. And...
Oh, yeah, it's written by the guy that made Game of Thrones.
And I was like, buddy! I'm like trying to be the hero of this world. And everything I'm doing is flipping up. Like, for example... I gave this character this sword, and I thought, I quite like this guy. The moment I gave him this flipping sword, I actually ended up liking this guy. Next thing you know, he gets murdered in the next room by this lady in like a cloak thing. So I'm like, oh, for flip's sake. So I end up doing her quest line, and at the end of it, I actually feel kind of a sympathetic bond to this lady. And they're like, oh, she's very sad and whatnot. There's I kill the boss, I talk to her and whatnot, she gives me this thing. I rest at the bonfire, or Grace, what it's called in Elden Ring. Find out she's been killed by another person I gave armor to. So it's like, just like I remember, right? There was like so many shopkeepers that ended up flipping dying. There was like I remember in like the main hobby lobby area, like the round table. When I saw this area, I thought, oh, this is like the main area. Like this was like there was something similar into this like Dark Souls in Dark Souls 2. Didn't play it. I watched people play it, where there was this main area where there was a bunch of shopkeepers and stuff. I thought, okay, this is where most people are gonna gather. This is where you get all your this is like the place where you get most of your gear from. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I expected. So I was going around all the rooms, checking people out. And I remember seeing this doll thing, and and I thought to myself, when I realised that the whole premise of this doll thing was that if any time a shopkeeper died, you could put a pearl into it, so you could buy to act as like a placement for the shopkeeper, so you could buy so if a shopkeeper died, you could still access the items.
Stuff, yeah.
So I thought, okay, this is people who would like to do because I know people like at the end of like playing the game of Dark Souls, they had a habit of like killing everyone around them. So I thought, this is like some for these people. I'm not going to use it because no one's going to die in my playthrough that I'm going to need to use this thing. And oh, how flipping wrong was I? I had so many flipping pearls I shoved into that flipping doll that, or marbles, or pearl, or balls, or whatever. They were like wooden, like balls, silver
Sorry,
balls.
Just hearing you explain it's so funny.
I was like, just it was so depressing. I play games to be the hero, like these fantasy games to be the hero. Okay, like the reason I like Skyrim so much is because I was a person playing like my favorite. Skyrim is my favorite game. It's hands down my literal game that I love. To this day, it gave me so many memories and everything, and I love being the hero and whatnot. But the fact that I know, like, comparing Skyrim to this is like a big stretch and whatnot, but I also compare this to Dark Souls, and Dark Souls was less depressing than this flipping thing. At least people actually still survived at the end of that game. This was like everyone just flipping died. I just was so upset about it. And then, like, at the end of the thing, the main hub area, everyone either left, died. Yeah, left or died. There's no. One person died.
It's realistic, right?
Just to have everyone perish around you. I just. It was so. It was frustrating. It did, like, the hub felt so empty at the end of the game. It gets.
I mean, to be fair, Elden Ring's not supposed to be a happy story with a good ending, so.
But what's the point of being the hero? And what's the point of fighting?
You're
if
not
there's...
the hero.
You're not
Technically,
you're
the
not
villain.
You're not the villain either. There's no way you're the villain.
You are the villain.
Then show me being the villain. Show it to me that I'm the villain, because I've
You
played.
set the Earth tree on fire. You know, the one thing keeping everybody alive. And you literally, everyone goes, "No, don't do it. Don't set everybody on fire. Like, don't burn the Earth tree. No man can slay good and all that." And you do it anyway.
I didn't do that.
You have to progress to the end of the game.
I never got that far. I'll tell you why. Because I ended up rage quitting.
No, you are the villain in the game, though.
Okay. Well, it doesn't give a good impression of it, because like I've played a game called Overlord. That game, more specifically Overlord 2, that game shows you that, oh hey, you are the villain. This game doesn't give you that impression. You're just some guy in a sword and whatnot. If you're going to do it,
to be fair,
show
even
it.
the story
Show
at
it in
the
the
start is
flipping
like-
story. It needs to be a solid story. I just didn't flipping. Anyway, so let's talk about the moment that made me rage quit, because this was. I still am mad about this whole thing. So, remember the build? I said I was running a fighter. So I had no magic. I was completely. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
let's get there. So, I mentioned that I was a sword wielder and a shield. So I realized that each sword had like a different attack speed to it. Like there was like rapiers, katanas, swords, short swords, long swords, etc. And each one had like different like attack speeds to it. I remember I got at the end of I remember I quickly fell in love with one sword type, and I think it was oh god, Elden Ring. I can't remember. Um, it was weapon. Yeah, it was straight swords.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they had a nice. They were
The moveset was quite nice on him.
yeah. It just had like an. They were swinging attack. It wasn't any like stabbing like the rapier or anything like that. It was like some solid swings, and it felt um I it also had like a nice speed to it as well. It wasn't too heavy, but it also didn't feel too light as well because some weapons just felt like when it hit the attack button. I know this sounds like too quick of a tap. Doesn't sound like a bad thing, but it did. It just I wanted a nice rhythm, so I wanted to stick to straight swords. I ended up getting myself from a drop from like the magiric like god's enemy at the game, a Lord Sworn Lord Sworn's straight sword.
Yeah, yeah.
Could not find a better straight sword through the whole game. Literally, I used this sword through the whole game. Like this was just this was the sword I just used for the whole game because I was a strength-based fighter. I wasn't using dex or anything because I didn't know that was the case for straight swords.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
I
just
mean, you can just change your traits or whenever.
and that actually and also there was actually a gameplay feature I didn't like. Um, it was right, yeah, a gameplay feature I didn't like. In Elden Ring, and I absolutely hated this was the Ashes of War.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely hated them. I never used them, and it also made um going into a specific stat completely useless because like in like when I was like in Dark Souls and in any other game RPG for that matter, um going into a specific stat allows you to use specific weapons. This literally allowed you to use any weapon if you just spent enough skill points into one specific trait because you could swap the Ashes of War or swapped the proficiencies of the weapon. I just and that just ruined it for me. I thought, what's the point? The only Ashes of War I used was from was the shield was on a shield because I couldn't use the Ashes of War on the sword because I was wielding a shield. You have to use two-handed for that. And the only one I had for the shield was parry because I'm so used to
Yeah.
Dark Souls that it was the only one I was using. I absolutely hated the feature. I didn't
I
like
quite
it.
liked it personally, though.
Okay, well that's your opinion.
Because I like
No,
side
no,
stuff and
no,
stuff.
no,
Yeah.
no. I don't mean that in like a bad way. Like I know that's like oh that's your opinion. Like no. Like this is just my humble opinion, and I
No, no,
didn't
no.
like.
I get you. I get you. I'm
Um
just saying, like, personally, I quite liked it, but I see where you're coming from.
um. On top of that, yeah. So that was my build pretty much. It was a shield, with a parry, uh, a longsman's straight sword, fully upgraded, because I couldn't find a better weapon. Um, what was a straight sword? What was for strength, and yeah. So with
No, no. It sounds like you've had a bit of a rough time with the game.
playing that game, yeah. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it happens sometimes, all right. Not everyone's gonna have the same experience.
I also had like um the guy riding a horse armor. I had
Yeah,
that
yeah.
fully equipped as well.
Oh yeah,
But
the Sentinel armor. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, there was Like, remember when I said I didn't understand the story as well?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand what I was getting myself into because I remember I I climbed up a mountain. I fought this uh fire giant with this disc, who then ended up ripping his own flipping leg off. Um,
Yeah, and then munching on it. Yeah. Man must have been hungry.
um. So
No, no, I can tell you the lore if you want.
at the end of that, I don't want to know. I really don't care. At the
No,
end
no,
of
no. It's much more simple than what you think. And you know how when he goes into his second phase, his name changes on the fire giant.
oh no, I didn't notice.
What he did essentially is he sacrificed his leg because he knew he was going to lose against you. He sacrifices his leg to the flame god, which is why he starts doing all the crazy fire attacks and shit.
Okay,
It's not explained, but he was put there by Godfrey, I think it was, as
right.
punishment because there's a war
Anyway,
against the giants, which is why they're all like
anyway,
frozen and shit.
did that. I think I did that on my second try, or maybe third. I can't remember. And I died
Mhm.
once, at least once to it. Mood set was. By the way, I only died at the first phase. The second phase, I think, actually did on my first try. Um, I did when the moment I got him to the second phase, I defeated him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Anyway, at the end, that's not important. Defeated him. Then there was the grace. I rested at it, and the figure appeared, and I just thought, and I wasn't thinking right, and I said, yeah. She was saying some dialogue. At this point, I completely blacked out of the story at all. I had all the depressing stuff happen. Um, so she so she says these things, and I just naturally say yes because at this point, even I can't say no to because there was something I wanted to say no to. It was like there were some like people in a castle, and they said the whole guild was about murdering people, and I wanted to be like, no, I don't want to join this guild, but the game forces me to progress the level and fight a boss I wanted to fight. So it's like it was so that was like very frustrating.
hmm
So I was just saying yes at everything at this point. So I say yes to her. Eventually she burns up.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I end up getting so yeah, she dies as well. Flipping fantastic. And I end up
yeah,
getting
yeah. And that's when you set the Earth tree on fire. Yeah,
oh, that's when. Oh gosh, I didn't even
yeah.
notice.
So you literally just screwed everybody over.
So anyway, the next thing you know, I teleport on these islands, and I can't fast travel. I can't get out. I can't teleport to any grace. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? I find a grace on this island. I rest at it, and I still cannot fast travel to anywhere else. And I quickly realized what this is because something happened like this in Dark Souls, where at the end of one of the bosses, when you rung both bells, there was two bells that you had to ring, and at the end of it, you rung them.
But 1 second, I'm in a boss fight. 1 sec.
Okay.
Get my ass get. Shit, I might die here. Sorry, it's just this is a hard game.
No,
It's
no, no.
not
Go
like
ahead. I
soldiers.
understand. Just put me on hold. That's fine. Just
It makes you feel worse when you say that.
I'll mute myself and
I can stream this to you if you want.
no, that's fine. Still actually live on Twitch, and I'm just been ranting about Elden Ring. I'll mute myself and just tell me when you
No, it's good now. I was just dodging like this complicated sequence. I normally can play and talk, but I was just getting like comboed.
are you fine now?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, that was a quick boss fight.
I've not finished. It's just I needed a second to readjust.
Okay. Well, they ended up telling me. So I thought, okay, the only way to get out of here was because that's where I was. Because in Dark Souls, when you rung both bells, you got moved to this place where you couldn't access anything else, and you had to go through it to be able to fast travel. And I thought this was the exact same. I had to get through the end of this because I couldn't fast travel no matter what. I went through this thing. Some enemies there was like I fought some people. There a lot of the enemies like was fighting fine, but then there was this one section, and at this point I had amassed over, I think it was like 20 like 32,000 runes.
Yeah.
Or like I think it was like I know it was like really a lot, and that
I've just
it
had
was
this thought. It's going to really annoy you. This.
Yeah.
Do you know how you said like you didn't know where to go and stuff? The NPC Gideon in the main hub literally tells you where you should go for your next boss and stuff, and gives you all the lore and stories behind them. So it sounds like you never spoke to Gideon.
I spoke to everyone. Where was this guy?
After each boss fight, you go back to the hub and then it'll send you like almost like a bounty to the next boss.
I did not know this.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate.
Like, there's nothing telling me that he can do that. Anyway. But I'm also a visual learner as well. Like, I need stuff on the mini map telling me where to go. Like, I need like the quest markers and stuff. That's what I need. There was like I remember seeing the meme of where people were like, if Ubisoft made this game, and there was like a bunch of like UI stuff. There was like the mini map in the corner, like things like quest markers and stuff like that. And I think to myself, like, I know this is like very jokey and stuff, but the fact that there's quest markers, I like the mini map is fine. No, actually, I think I don't care about not having a mini map and stuff because I've already got the map. But I just want something like some like arrow directions, just to, like some pointers on the map, like some like little circles or something, just to tell me that, oh hey, this is where I need to go, or this is a place I need to go to complete a quest or something to help a person out, or not help them out because they ended up having some flipping horrible fate at the end of every single quest. But
because you literally kill everybody off because it's a J.R.R. Martin written piece.
I was so mad about that. I was not happy at the end of that. Like, I'm fine with a few people dying, or even like half the people. Not every single.
You literally made the wrong choices at every single thing, and you killed everyone. That's so funny. There's ways to save them, you know.
Well, I was following the wiki guide, so I don't know what the flip I was doing wrong. Anyway, as I was saying, I was maybe they update it. I heard they did add a lot of like updates to the stuff. Maybe they've made it so that you can save people now.
It's been in the game since day one.
Okay, I don't know anymore. This is just my flipping experience because I was listening to the wiki, so I don't know how the flip like everyone died or had a worse fate. Because the one person didn't die, it was the sorcerer. Instead she got turned into this horrific floating orb.
Yeah, right. It's because you did a different side quest, and then you essentially lined yourself with the enemy of that person, so then she gets screwed up, literally into a ball with a giant face on it.
Well, I didn't know that. There's nothing.
Well, you know, it's the type of game it is.
Flip's sake, I didn't like. Yeah, that.
It's like you have to pay attention to what literally every NPC does. Like, you might as well have a pen and paper and write it down. honestly.
I can't do that. I just can't.
It's a bit more of an investment than normal game. No,
Um.
I get what's happened though.
Anyway, so then there was. So yeah, I ended up teleporting to this island, fought a few enemies, and then I was at that point where I couldn't level up, like, um, like I thought I was at that brink of leveling up. Like I just needed like a few more like 1,000 runes to level up, but I couldn't do it. So I thought, okay, maybe if I use all my like the runes in my inventory, maybe I'll have enough. I did all of that, and I was just under it, and I thought, okay, well that's no big deal. I can just carry on. So I moved to the next section, and there was these knights. And these knights, like my whole strategy is like waiting for an opening.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I like with blocking with my shield and stuff. These knights had area of effect abilities, but also moves that went through my shield and damaged me even if they hit the shield.
Yeah.
You know what knights I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, of course I do, yeah.
Yeah. And I died to them. What made me lose all my runes. And I couldn't kill them. I didn't have. There were because my whole build was main. I didn't have any magic. It was all physical damage. They were just not. It was just too tough to kill, and this was, and I couldn't. Like it wasn't an enemy. I could go, um, back and like farm runes and come back
Yeah.
stronger. Like, because I was stuck here, I couldn't teleport, and I looked, and people were saying that, oh, you had to look arrested at Grace to teleport, and I'm like, I did that, and I still couldn't teleport. So anyone saying that is flipping wrong. Anyway, so at this point, I just do the classic tactic of just running through them. I have the dex, I have the stamina, I can do this. And that's what I did. So I was running through this whole like chamber, and I'm like, okay, where the flip do I need to go? So I'm like running, for up. I remember running down the stairs, turning a corner, like I'm aggroing like all these enemies, and they're all like chasing right behind me, and I'm like going and I can just hear like I'm running through this whole place, going downstairs, upstairs, back down flight of stairs, grabbing, finding some items, grabbing that like bodies, grabbing the items off the bodies, jumping from. I jumped off a cliff to reach on a platform on the other side, just to run
Yeah.
up another flight of stairs to get back into the exact same area I was, just to avoid those enemies. And I was doing all of this, just trying, and all this time I hearing this like heavy like metal footsteps all behind me of these enemies just running after me, because they had the exact same running speed as me as well. So I'm just trying to figure out where to go. And then I run through an arch, and then the boss music starts to play. I'm like, so I accidentally literally run, like head first into a boss chamber, and I thought like, oh my flipping gosh, I can't believe this. And then I noticed what the boss is. It was people I've already fought before. It was these cloaked figures with one having like the ability of being, who is very thin, has the ability of stretching very long, and the other one is quite a chubby one that's ability to expand himself to like do like belly flop attacks.
Yeah.
I struggled with both of these bosses in the past when I did this. And now I've got to fight both of them in an area that I can't flipping level up in. Yeah, they flipping killed me. And at that point, I was just done. I just couldn't do it anymore. I was just hard stuck. This game hard stuck me in a place, and I just didn't have the motivation to go through it. So I uninstalled the game, and I haven't touched it since.
No, I mean, I get why. I get why.
Just after all of that, like I was so like I couldn't like carry on because I was hard stuck. I couldn't like level up or anything like that. I couldn't like farm. There wasn't any solid farm where I was. There wasn't the boss. I would have to run past all the enemies just to do a boss fight that I would flipping struggle with as well. I couldn't restart the whole game again because I was so far into the game already. Like I was literally in the snow peaks. Like I explored the majority of the map at this point. Like what would be the point of starting over again? I've no like majority of the things. Like nothing would be a surprise anymore. Like there was that. I will say there was that like mystery of walking into a boss chamber, wondering what is the foe I'm going to be fighting in this next area. What would like that like area of mystery and surprise that would have been completely flipping gone. So I quit.
Fair enough. No, it's like you're saying, if you have a bad experience, the game's supposed to be fun, right? So I get it.
So that's my experience with Elden Ring. And my brother flipping praises this game, so I can't. So when I try and talk to him, he defends the flipping heck out of it, and it angers the heck out of me. Just like, yeah, this game's just not for me. That's it. I get it's a good game. It's a masterpiece. I get it. Like there were some things, like I said, there were some things that were really good. It didn't have flipping microtransactions. That was a benefit. And I think the developers did make the game they wanted. It was just not the game for me. It's simple as that. Like, if I hate when people say of the stuff like it's realistic. Like, if I want to play a realistic, I go flipping outside. Okay. In a video game, a video game's supposed to be an escape from the real world. This is supposed to be. I don't.
No, I mean, I get your frustrations.
I'm
stuff.
tired. I've lost my energy.
I mean, it's better for you to write now rather than, keeping it in, I guess.
I've had this for so long. It's my opinions on it. Just the fact that you brought it up just made me go off about it. Like I wanted to make a YouTube video about ranting this game, but I knew that people would flipping criticize the heck out of it because not only am I not a strong speaker, there's so many the internet is very very protective of this game. Like there's a reason it won the Game Awards. And I think it did deserve to win the Game Awards. And actually the majority of the awards for that matter, except for the game with the best game direction. I don't think that should have gone to Elden Ring. I think that should have gone to Stray, just because how unique gameplay Stray was compared to any other game. But that's my own personal opinion. And people can happily disagree with me.
I've not played Stray, so I don't have an opinion on it.
Okay. It's a platformer, but not really a platformer. It's you don't jump, like you don't hit A and your character jumps. You go near when you go towards go towards gaps or like walk underneath like platforms and stuff, and you hit A just to and then A comes up on the screen like next to the edge of the platform, and you hit it, and your character literally jumps to that edge just naturally, no matter how far it is. Anyway, I'm gonna get off now.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna stream this boss to you real quick. This is the one boss that I don't like in the game.
Jesus,
It's just
Maggie.
because I'm bad. It's not. There's nothing wrong with the boss. It's well designed and all. It's just I'm really bad at it.
I've got to show this to you. I've got to show this to my stream. Okay. Ouch. Yeah, sorry for the rambling. You're a good listener. That thing does look nasty.
I think this game might get Game of the Year this year.
You think so?
Yeah. No, it is legitimately good, and then it's like randomized campaigns, so like nobody has the same campaign, and it just feels so polished.
Right. This is a game that's going to have to compete with, right? Hogwarts Legacy, and also Baldur's Gate 3.
I think it can compete.
I'm sorry, but I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to get Game of the Year. Just...
I mean, yeah, because this game's less popular, to be fair, as well. But I think the actual game itself...
Baldur's Gate did so many things right. And it wasn't the fact that it was like... I think the fact that it was in playtest for so long that they were listening to feedback of people to get the game right, similar to how Hades did it.
Shit. I messed up really bad.
Also, you can make out with a bear. Well, immediately it took headlines.
Like, remember when Outriders released, it was an absolute disaster.
Outline?
Outriders.
No.
Wait, what are you saying?
What do you...
Outriders.
No, I haven't seen Outriders.
Never mind. Essentially, like this is done really well for what it is, and it like it wasn't heavily advertised or anything. It just came out, and the game's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting my ass kicked with it when I hard difficulty playing stuff on that. Like the co-op mode, if you're gonna play on that, is absolutely flawless.
What the fuck is your character doing? He's doing this like pull action.
Yeah, it's like you shoot chains and then pulls out and does like a damage over time. It's a weapon mod.
I've got to get off before I get banned from Twitch because thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you in the next one. I'm gonna still watch this guy play his game. I'm just gonna